So the prevailing narratives are pretty anti-white, right? White people are colonizers and conquerors, oppressors, the embodiment of historical evil, genociders, right? And as a result of all of this malfeasance, white people have built up and enjoy a legacy of privilege for which they should be ashamed and check their privilege. Now this is a profoundly hostile narrative, and to the extent that white people internalize it, a profoundly destructive one. And all its various, permutations and corollaries and everything else. You could imbibe years of this stuff in public school and especially in university, and postgraduate, graduate and postgraduate. I mean, you could be immersed in this stuff for decades, literally. You could make a profession out of this. But even if you don't, you're likely going to be exposed to years and years of it. And to the extent that white people internalize this, it can be profoundly destructive. Because, there are implications, moral and logical implications to this narrative. Like, for one, that you should hand over your country because it's not yours. It's illegitimate. Your possession of this land is illegitimate. You should hand it over to brown people. And, if you're white, you should don't breed because your carbon footprint is bigger than anybody else's. And there's just a lot of implications of consequence to these narratives, that if you buy into them, then you have to follow them to these implications, and it's profoundly destructive ultimately in the end. And in contrast, I actually don't dispute a whole lot of the facts of the narrative. My view is my ancestors were the biggest fucking assholes on this planet, and I'm fucking proud of them for it, right? They were the biggest fucking assholes. And that's a fucking accomplishment. And, that's something to be proud of and to try to live up to. To try to be as big of a fucking asshole as your ancestors were, because that's what it's all about, ultimately. I mean, you don't get any points for being nice. You don't get any points for being a loser. So, I mean, why would we fucking glorify that and hold it up as a standard of value? We don't glorify and hold up as a standard of value, the weak, the inferior, the defective, the deviant, the sick. That's not the fucking standard of value. We hold up as exemplars the strong, the beautiful, the excellent, the exceptional, the talented, the great, the courageous, the honorable, the conquerors, the winners, right? And we don't always live up to that. Quite often we fall short, but that's the standard of value. That's what we aim for. We don't aim for the gutter. We aim for the stars. We don't aim for the depths. We aim for the heights. And that's a better way of looking at things.